Hello, welcome to Creative Writing Life Podcast. I'm Justin Sloan.
And I'm Paul Zeidman, as you could probably see, or if you're just listening, it is just Justin and myself today.
Hello, hello. So our listening and reading, whatever, I started watching Lioness by Taylor Sheridan. Have you seen that yet?
Is that on Paramount?
Yeah.
That's
Paramount
like the
Plus.
one streaming service we don't have.
I just sign on occasionally. Like I'm doing the $5.99 a month with ads program
Okay.
because it's not insane on ads and it kind of gives me a nice stopping point for when to turn it off. So I've been checking that out. We actually signed up to watch some other movie. I forget what it was, but anyway. So I'm keeping it around to check out some things because there's a few on there that I want to check out, and I'm enjoying it. I read the script like 3 months ago or something like that for the pilot, and I was kind of annoyed about some of the things they do with the military. Like it's like don't bother to hire a military consultant. Cool, whatever. Things
It's
that
Taylor
most people
Sheridan.
who work,
It's Taylor Sheridan. He can do whatever he
yeah,
wants.
he's like, I'll do what I want.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm whatever. Most people who aren't in the Marines probably don't care and probably wouldn't notice, and it's whatever. But anyway, the show was awesome. The characters are great. It's Zoe Saldana. Is that her name? Saldana.
Yes.
Yeah,
Zoe
she's awesome.
Saldana, right?
She's like the cameo character from what I can tell so far, because I'm only like
I thought she was the lead.
Episode. She's kind of the lead, but like in the first episode, it's kind of like she's there for a little bit, and then she disappears to tell the story of the main, who I think is going to be the lead, which is this other character. And so Zoe like leads her. Oh yeah, well they join back up. So I imagine Zoe will be a big part of the show, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get rid of her. Somebody who's already watched the whole show will probably be laughing at me because I'm an idiot. But in my mind, I wouldn't be surprised if they only have her on for a little bit and then she disappears. As one of those like, okay, I did it. I did a little TV, but I wasn't gonna stick around because I got movies to do.
Yeah.
At the same time, maybe this is her Harrison Ford or the other guy moment. So anyway, what about yourself?
Two things. So started. I think it just debuted last week on Amazon Prime. It's Good Omens 2. My wife and I enjoyed the first season. She was kind of indifferent about seeing the second one, so I started watching it myself. I've watched the first 2 episodes and I'm really enjoying it. Very intrigued to see where it all goes. And I think I don't know how involved Neil Gaiman was with the script, but wow, the writing is just phenomenal, especially a lot of the dialogue. It's just really, some of it is just has nothing to do with the scene, but it's like a lot of really good back and forth that I guess, if you saw it in a newer writer's script, you'd probably think you don't need this. It just, you're dragging the scene out. But for some reason, maybe I think it just works better. Maybe because it's Neil Gaiman and you put so much trust in his writing ability. So I'm looking forward to catching up on that one. And what was really cool was it was my Father's Day gift is that the San Francisco Symphony does this series of performances over the summer that they will show a movie, but they'll have a live orchestra accompaniment to it. And so this past weekend, we went and watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it was great. It was really cool. And you really don't realize how much the music plays a part in the movie. Like you're watching it just at home and, the music's there. But when you're watching it and you have the actual music coming in, it makes quite a difference. It's like it has so much more of an impact. So if you ever get the chance to do that kind of thing without, any movie of your choice, I highly, highly recommend it.
Where was that? Where did you watch it?
That was at the Symphony Hall here in San Francisco. So
Nice.
So big auditorium and you have full orchestra and they have the screen like right on top of them with subtitles. It was really cool.
Yeah. That's really cool. I've seen a few of those around here at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was thinking, oh, it'd be so awesome. But then I'm like, oh my God, but getting there and parking and all that. And it's pretty expensive, right? I mean, I don't think it's cheap. So
it wasn't, super cheap, but also wasn't as pricey because I know I think like last year they were doing it for Back to the Future and I was really interested in seeing that, but I think it was like a one night only thing. And the tickets were like $150. And my wife and I were like, I don't need to see it that badly. So I think I said, what if we took, part of the money we would have spent on that? We just went and had a nice dinner. So
right. Yeah. I think it'd be worth doing it sometime for sure. I love that. I even saw like they had like recently a video game music thing where it was just like scenes showing up there from the movie, for the video games, and then the orchestra playing. And even that I think would be pretty awesome because it's just, inspiring. Sometimes they do that at like award luncheons and they have the music playing with the scenes and it's fun and inspiring and all that. But yeah, with the live orchestra, so much better, I'm sure.
I bet your kids are probably like during the holidays, they'll have like Nightmare Before Christmas, and they'll do like a Charlie Brown Christmas. So all the fun family type things. So I mean, I again don't know what the prices are, but I bet
if
your
it's
kids
not
would
Roblox,
probably.
my kids don't care.
Oh, okay.
They're like, oh, you only want Roblox. Get everything else out of our system. Except for my son now got into Naruto hardcore. So
oh wow. Okay. I know,
yeah,
I'm
they do
fairly certain they
Naruto.
don't do anime, so I don't think you have to worry about that.
Not yet. Maybe someday soon.
Not yet.
But yeah. So yeah. So recently, let's see. Is there anything new in writing in your life?
I got some really great feedback on my script from this. It's kind of like a production company, and they're doing like evaluation of the scripts, and they had some really positive things to say about the script. So that was really nice. I'm waiting to talk to one of the people there about. They're going to like how they're going to give you any advice about like maybe ways to improve the script, but they had a lot of positive things to say, so I'm not sure what else they can say. But also like if they know of anybody who might be interested in it. So this is an animated project, so like hopefully, well they're also are totally working in sync with the strike, so nothing's going to go out. But okay, hold on one sec. So I think like once things hopefully resolve with all of the strikes, especially the Writers Guild, that they'll start sending it out and helping me pitch it and all that kind of stuff. But it's it's been a good experience so far. Exactly.
Wait, so because it's animated, they could anyway, but they still don't want.
I think it's the whole. I think it's the production aspect and also the representation aspect. I mean, I think they're still kind of like feeling their way through it, and I think you can still pitch to reps, but not producers. And I think if you signed with a rep, that they still can't pitch it. So it's kind of there, and I think they're working with a whole bunch of writers on their project. So I think they're just trying to get everything organized before they start sending it out to the industry.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So you have some kind of strike news?
No, just did you see that it looks like AMTP and WGA are meeting on Friday?
Yeah, I did see. I saw that. So that came out last night, and a lot of people are like, really hoping that the AMPTP really knows what they've done to themselves and are a little more flexible. I think it's probably the best word to describe it. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes on Friday. I think that, and also that's just the start too, so we'll see. I mean, but also I think there might have been some kind of development with the SAG too, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I've been focusing more on the Writers Guild stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. What I saw as of like this morning was just that, and then SAG saying, "Come on, what about us?" or something. So. Some people posting, not SAG as an organization, but yes. Yeah, cool. So fingers crossed. So in other news, let's see. I'm working on a game. It's a lot of fun. It's a new one that I probably can't talk about yet, but it's it's cool. I'm enjoying it. It brings me back to my younger years of like when I was 12. I tried to make a video game with my buddy, like write a game and do all the maps and stuff, and it's very reminiscent of that. So I'm like, my 12-year-old self is alive again.
Well, that helps. I mean, I think having a love and understanding of the material, plays a big factor in you developing it now.
Yeah, for sure. So that's all. But and then I just got back from Comic Con recently. It was my first time going. So
wow,
that was cool.
Yeah, well, that's one more than I've gone. So
someday you gotta go at some point.
Oh no, that's someday I will. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to ask you. So a lot of people know that the studios, so TV and movies, because of the strikes, were really a lot of the studios pulled out. They weren't going to do anything. So it was really most of the focus was on comics. No, I know there were some TV things, but it was really about like a lot of the people behind the scenes, like some directors were there and some I think non-guild writers were there. But a lot of the focus was on comics, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, there's so many people are not going to go because there's no TV and movies to hype." So so attendance will be down. And from what I understand, that was not the case at all.
No, yeah, I read that a lot of the comics and Fun Pop or whatever those companies made a lot more money this year. So that's nice for them.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've never been before, so I can't speak to that, but I don't think anything was missed. I mean, I personally wouldn't give a darn if an actor was there, right? So like, if a famous writer's there, I'll be like, whoa,
yeah,
like the actors, whatever, right? So yeah, for me, I think it was no big deal. I think there was one panel I wanted to go to that was canceled, probably because of the strike.
Okay.
But there were still plenty of writers there. aside from the strike happening, you know, and so their purpose for being there was not to promote their own works, but to talk about writing and to, you know, just be awesome. So I went to a couple of cool panels. I went to one about show running with a local La Cañada resident who I met at the coffee shop like 2 weeks before that, and she was like, "Come to my panel," and it was a great panel. So yeah, we had a lot of good ones. I honestly don't think anybody really seemed to care. The studios weren't there. Like, I didn't talk to anybody who did. They're all like, "Yeah, let's have fun," and we're all. So yeah, so the quick version of the experience of Comic-Con for people. I applied for a pro badge. I got it. It was free. I was like, sweet. If I'm getting the badge for free, I might as well pay for a hotel, because then it's still like under $1,000 to go to Comic-Con. That's not a bad deal. It was nothing like Big Bang Theory, where I had to like sit around and click for like, you know, as soon as things open to get a ticket. That's what they do on that show. They're like click, 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 click to try to get their tickets to Comic-Con. So nothing like that. But maybe that's because of the pro status. I don't know. And we get there. There wasn't such a bad line. It was like you get your badge pretty quickly. You go in and you start walking around and seeing people in costumes, and that was sweet. And then of course it's like any other conference, lots of panels. There's lots of panels on writing. There's lots of panels on other random things. There's like the fan ones. We went to a John Wick thing that was pretty awesome, and that was like a fan, kind of more fan geared one. We went to one about a Telltale game that had like the creative director and whatnot, and that was more a mix where it was like fan, but also for like creators, like how do you do this kind of cool stuff, and share their experience. And then, you know, the big thing that I think is always fun about whether it's Austin Film Festival or Comic-Con was the networking. So they had some cool parties. Apparently it's hard to get into these. So at first we're like, well, that sucks. We can't go to these cool parties. And then we texted some buddies and they got us in. So we were able to go and met a lot of cool. It's like every 5 seconds, you're like, hey, meet this person, meet this person, meet this person. And you're meeting a lot of pretty cool people. So
that is awesome.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
Exactly. So, so there's a cartoonist I really like. His name's Keith Knight. He used to live in the Bay Area. Then he moved to North Carolina. Now I think he's in Los Angeles. So he did a cartoon or comic strip recently about his Comic-Con experience, and like that's cool. How it started. And it was him was someone saying like, oh, because there's no TV or movies, it won't be that bad. And he said that was totally not true. Like he sold out all of his, because he had a new book out, so he sold all of them. And he said like the comics section and the artist alley, sometimes it's a ghost town, like when there's a big thing in Hall H, but he said it was just like packed like sardines the entire time, and it was great. And you still had the people in costume, and there was a lot of stuff to be bought. And just he said that I think maybe because there was more emphasis on comics and the related things, and not so much about hyping TV and movies, that there were still a lot of people, but there was just I don't know, a different perspective about it. And I think that made it a lot more enjoyable for people.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I think that was my experience as well. And what was really cool is like my buddy was telling me the reason he goes every year is to just meet up with friends. And I think if you're like if you're in one of these industries and there's going to be people you know there, that is a great reason to go. Yeah. And I would say that's where the majority of my enjoyment came from, was just people that I see occasionally, but we were all in one place, all hanging out, all getting tacos, all getting ice cream, So it's more about the cementing the relationships you already have, and then meeting a couple new people that maybe next year will be like, hey, and then they'll be my new taco ice cream people. Who knows?
There you go. As long as tacos and ice cream are involved, you're all set.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll see you there sometime for sure. We'll see you at Austin Film Festival this year.
Oh well, I'll definitely be at Austin, and I guess that big dream is to if I get to go to Comic-Con, it's because I'm promoting a project of mine. So fingers crossed someday that'll happen.
On that note, I did see, and we mentioned already, and it'll be out by the time people listen to this, was the Julia V and Ken Babel episode. I saw them at Comic-Con. Those were some of those cool people that I was able to sit down with and have some great coffees. There are a lot of places there too that like are not too crowded. So like that was my worries, that we'd get there and it's just one of those hectic experiences and you feel overwhelmed and you can't sit down anywhere. But no, we had some really good tacos. Like I said, we had some great coffee at this place that was just 2 blocks away. I met up with Jonathan Yanez, who has also been on the show. Oh yeah. We were able to have a nice dinner. He treated me, so thank you, Jonathan, if you're listening.
He's that big successful guy, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. So he claimed I treated him last time, but I'm not sure. Some people do that just to.
Why argue?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just now it's noted on the show that so next time it's on me.
Yeah. So next year it's your turn.
You can't deny it.
Yeah. Got it.
Cool. Yeah. So recommended. Anybody who wants to check out Comic-Con next year. I think I'll go next year. I do think though, however, so somebody was asking me, they were like, I've tried to get a badge for like 12 years. How did you do it? I think it's really not that complicated if you're in some sort of pro status. There's just like an announcement that comes out, you apply, then like a couple months later they say you're in, and then you have to just fill out one more thing, and then they send you an email that says your badge is here. So
I think that's the question, is how far ahead, because don't the badges go on sale like February or March, I think, because that's like they sell out in like 5 or 10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, for the pro badge stuff, I think it was well enough in advance, like maybe 4 to 6 months, somewhere in that zone. So it's something to stay on top of. They have it on their website, so it's easy to follow. And
that's probably the best way to start.
Yeah, so it's definitely not like it's hidden or anything like that.
You have to have the secret code.
Yeah. So good experience.
Awesome.
Look out for people who want. Oh, so what I was going to say though is next year I might just do one night. I feel like, if you're there for an evening to hang out with some people, that's awesome. I feel like the hotels are so expensive that going for 2 nights doubles the cost, right? And then I feel like you pretty much get, like if you're not there for all the panels, you can get a couple panels, feel like you got your fan excitement out of the way, go network with people for like an evening, and that's good enough probably. Because otherwise you will start getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, is like, don't go just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like if you go, like at least have a general idea, like, what panels you want to attend, and, there's some kind of merch you want to buy, just take care of that. And if something else catches your fancy, that's great, but don't try to do everything. It's like trying to do Disneyland in one day. You're just an exhaustion.
Yeah, it was exactly like Disneyland. Like when you're there and you're like trying to walk through the fireworks, like go see the fireworks or something, and you're waiting for like many hours in a huge crowd. That's what walking the floor was like. So I only did that like twice, because otherwise I was like,
Sure.
Usually when you're trying to look for people, that's where they are. So you got to walk the floor to meet your buddies.
You're both of you on your phones. Wait, I'm over here by like, what is this? 2000. Yeah. Okay. So where are you?
Yeah, always. It seems like everybody was always around 1900 whenever we're trying to find each other. We're around 1900. Yeah,
that's where the exits were. That's why.
Yeah, but I hung out with my good buddy Ben. I don't know if we've had him on the show yet. I feel like not, so we should probably invite him on at some point.
Not entirely sure, but
yeah, he's cool. He's done comic writing for Marvel and whatnot, but he's also into the AI space. So if we want to have somebody come on and talk about AI and not bash it, he'd probably be a good one to have. So we'll look forward to that, people.
We'll have our people work on it.
Yeah. Oh, anything else on your end you wanted to cover today?
No, I think it was really just as we said, it's going to be a short one today, and just really talking about your Comic-Con experiences. And I think and also it's kind of the summer doldrums. So as I'm getting ready, we're going to take our daughter back to school soon. So
nice. Yeah, we have 2 weeks ourselves, so we still got a little bit of time. We just had a good summer staycation over the last week when my nephew was here in town, and
nice.
That was fun. Yeah, kid space and mini golf and Malibu Beach and all that fun stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah.
All the typical SoCal summer stuff for you.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because I still was able to work. I'll get up at like 4, get my work done, and then I'm like 2 in the afternoon. It's like, all right, let's go party time.
There you go.
It's the advantage of being able to work remotely is you can work at 4 in the morning and have some afternoon time.
And soon you get the kids back in school.
Yeah, and then get them back in school and just have all day. It'll feel weird, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so listeners, go check out the Julia V and Ken Babel episode. Check out the Jonathan Yanez episode. There's a bunch of other ones. I was scrolling through to see if Ben was on there, but I still don't see him. So we'll have to have Ben on pretty soon if he agrees.
Sounds good.
And yeah, be sure to leave some word of mouth, spread word of mouth, leave some reviews, all that stuff. We'll definitely appreciate it. So once again, this is the Creative Writing Life podcast. I'm Justin Sloan. You can find my books on Amazon. Let's pick a shout out for one of my books today. I'm going to shout out Ascension Gate. It's a series that I enjoyed writing quite a lot. It's got some similarities to other things that I've been hired to write lately, and I'm like, oh, that's like the book I wrote. So if you want to check out my style, there we go. The Ascension Gate series.
Very nice. And I'm Paul Zibin. You can check out my screenwriting blog, Maximum Z, at maximumz.blog. I'm also on Twitter at I'm on X. I'm never going to get used to saying that.
I'm never going to say it.
I'm on X at maximum_Z, and I might as well start promoting the Instagram again at Pez Screenwriting, PEZ Screenwriting. Follow me. Most likely I will follow you back because that's the kind of person I am. You can also check out my books on Amazon. I'm focused today will be Go Ahead and Ask volume 1. Since I only have 3 books, I got 3 weeks in me. So if you feel free to check those out. It's all about screenwriting and pie and everything an aspiring writer could use, and anything an experienced writer can use as well. Like you said, he's Justin. I'm Paul. This has been the Creative Writing Life podcast. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy. Most importantly, go write something.